Mr. Daniels, are you aware that you're being charged with racial vilification? The words hit me before I even had time to react. And when I hear who's pressing charges, I almost laugh. Almost. Knock, knock, knock. The sound rattles through the house like a mallet on a gong. My stomach sinks. I'm not expecting anyone. When I open the door, it's a cop. Not one of those buddy movie cops with aviators and easy charm, but the stocky, clipboard-carrying kind who looks like he's been promoted more for paperwork than for brawling. His badge catches the late afternoon light. Mr. Daniels? Yes? I'm Senior Constable Beckett. May I have a moment of your time? His tone is formal, clipped, rehearsed. My chest tightens. Sure. What's this about? He flips open a notebook and glances at it as if to confirm something. Do you own a dark green sedan, license plate WYZ902? I nod, throat suddenly dry. There's been a report lodged against you for racial abuse. Witnesses corroborate the incident. It occurred 2 days ago on Palmerston Street. Do you recall yelling at a man walking his dog? The words hit like a hammer. The memory crashes over me. The sight of him. After all these years, smug and oblivious, just strolling along with a fat Labrador, as though he hadn't turned my teenage years into a waking nightmare. My mouth had acted faster than my brain, the car windows down, the venom spilling out. Yes, I admit hesitantly. I do remember that. The officer pulls out a pen, jotting down notes. The complainant has alleged that you use racial slurs, specifically, he flips to another page. You called him a... And here, he pauses, his eyes flicking to mine for a split second. I can almost hear the words forming on his lips, but he doesn't say them. Instead, he clears his throat and looks back down at his notebook. My chest tightens further. He said I used those? On him? That's correct. I let out a hollow laugh, more disbelief than amusement. Wait, hold on. You've got to be kidding me. Do you know what he called me in high school? He used to use the exact same words. Those very same words. I stop, the words catching in my throat. Even now, years later, I can't bring myself to say them out loud. Beckett doesn't blink. Mr. Daniels, I'm not here to discuss the past. My role is to address the incident reported to us. Did you or did you not yell those words at Mr. Harding on December the 7th? Of course I did, I snap before catching myself. My hands fly to my temples. I mean, yes, but you don't understand. That guy bullied me for years. He made my life hell. I understand emotions can run high. Beckett cuts in. But the law is clear. Racial abuse, regardless of context, is a serious offence under Section 18C of the Racial Discrimination Act. My jaw drops. Are you seriously telling me that he is pressing charges against me? The officer nods, his face unmoved. The air feels heavy, suffocating. My pulse thunders in my ears. I press a hand against the doorframe to steady myself. Do you even know who he is? The guy's a fraud. He used to spit those words at me every chance he got. Me, the only kid who looked like I did in that whole damn school. And now what? He's suddenly claiming indigeneity? Bullshit. Beckett adjusts his weight, clearing his throat. Mr. Harding has proved evidence of his heritage. Evidence? I bark a laugh. What? Did he Google a DNA test? The officer frowns, but I'm too far gone now. Words tumbling out like a dam breaking. Do you know what it's like to grow up as the odd one out in a mostly white school? Every damn day he'd corner me in the locker room, throw my books on the floor and call me... I stop myself again, swallowing the words. He'd call me these things I won't even repeat to you. Do you think I came out of that unscathed? You think I didn't dream of getting even someday? My voice cracks, and I exhale sharply, trying to regain control. Beckett raises a hand, a peacekeeping gesture. I appreciate you've had a difficult history with Mr. Harding, but the law doesn't distinguish between provocation and retaliation. Racial vilification is racial vilification. I stare at him, incredulous, and he gets off scot-free. No consequences for what he did to me. Unless there's a formal complaint on record from your end, I can't speak to that. My laugh is bitter this time. Yeah, right. Like anyone gave a damn about what happened to kids like me back then. The school turned a blind eye, teachers brushed it off, and now, here I am, paying the price for finally snapping. The officer doesn't respond, and the silence is deafening. Do you have kids, Constable? I ask, suddenly quieter. He hesitates. I do. Then imagine this, I say, stepping closer. Imagine your kid comes home every day with bruises on his soul because some little prick decided he's not white enough, not good enough. Imagine that kid grows up, keeps it all inside, and then one day, years later, he sees that prick walking his dog, happy as can be, like none of it ever happened. Tell me, wouldn't you lose it too? Beckett's gaze flickers, just for a moment, before he straightens. Mr. Daniels, I'm not here to pass judgment. I'm here to enforce the law. I take a shaky breath, the anger giving way to exhaustion. What happens now? You'll receive a formal notice of the charge. You're entitled to legal representation, and I suggest you contact the solicitor as soon as possible. He closes his notebook. That's all I needed today. He turns to leave, but I can't let him go just yet. Constable, I call after him. Do you think there's even a shred of justice in this? That someone like me, after everything I've been through, can end up the bad guy in a story I didn't even write? Beckett pauses, one foot on the stoop. He glances back, his expression unreadable. Justice isn't my department, Mr. Daniels. Have a good day. And then he's gone, leaving me standing there, drowning in a silence that feels heavier than all the slurs ever thrown my way. You're already here. Might as well stay a little bit longer. There's another story waiting when you're ready.